Alright guys, hey, Corbin Hostler here. You can find me here on YouTube at chostler88. Same on Twitter and Twitch as well. I've got some modern Merfolk for you today. It's my favorite deck and the one that I'm probably most known for, so want to run it through some events here. So I'll go run through the list real quick before we jump in. Is 3 Cavernous Souls, 12 Islands, 3 Mutavault, 1 Manama, 1 Obero. I like having the 3 Cavern against all the twin decks. There's a bunch of Remand decks. It's really great when it's good. 3 Mutavaults is maybe sort of the thing that's not as common, but I find that you're much more likely to lose a game to not having blue in the first couple turns than you are to not having a 4th Mutavault in your deck. I mean, there's a small percentage of games you would win by having the 4th one and having access to it, but I think it is not. I think it's more than offset by the number of games where you have to mulligan because you don't have an island, or you don't have double blue and you keep a 1 blue hand and you never cast a Lord and die. So obviously Mutavault's great when it's good and you have the perfect draw, but in my experience 3 has just been better. Manamo, not really much there. Sometimes you can untap Thassa. Obero, good for filtering mana sometimes. You can use tap it for blue, use a Mutavault to return it, then replay it and get blue, even if it's your only land. So just kind of a trick there. Rest of the list, more or less standard-ish, a couple tweaks. 4 Curse Catchers, you'd expect 4 Vial. I have 2 Spell Pierce and 2 Vapor Snags each. I think that they're both still good, and I like having some interaction with the combo decks and stuff in game 1, plus you can usually catch a removal spell with it, that sort of thing. Vapor Snags are still good. I think they combo well with Harbinger of the Tides, but Harbinger of the Tides doesn't completely replace it in my opinion. But then everything else, 4 Silvergill, 4 Spreading Seas, 4 Lord, 4 Master. I'm on 3 Harbinger of the Tides because when it's bad, it's pretty bad. I think 3 is the right number. 4 Regery, 1 Siege, which I've been liking more than Kira recently. A lot of Pyroclasms and Tron and stuff like that, and this is good against Burn. It just sort of has a lot more versatility than Kira. Thassa, this could be the 4th Master of Waves, depending. I like it a lot in the grindy matchups. Just the ability to scry every turn is really big. And once you have a couple Spreading Seas on the field, it's not that hard to just turn this into a 5/5, even when you only maybe have 1 other creature. So I'm a big fan of Thassa. Then the 3 Masters. Looking over here at the sideboard, we have the other Spell Pierce and Swan Songs for the combo decks, the Relic Progenitus for the graveyard decks, or just basically any Snapcaster deck, just generically good. The Recalls for Affinity, and I guess Lantern Control, because that's the thing we need to worry about now. Tidebinders for the green matchups. Hibernation, it's basically you're only out to like Elves and Boggles and stuff. Kira, you bring it in against a lot of decks where you want the removal and you don't necessarily want a Curse Catcher or something. Ruinator, bring this in against the heavy control decks that just want a 1-for-1 on my creatures. And then the Dismember, which we're actually, we have 13 in our sideboard right now, so we actually need to add a couple. I think I like the 2nd Dismember here, comes in quite a bit. Additionally, probably just the 2nd Hibernation, because Elves top 8'd recently, that's more of a deck, and Boggles is kind of on the upswing, and these are some of your only outs against them. But that's the deck, and we'll go ahead and jump into an 8-man here just to get some game. Alright guys, here we go. We are into a round, and we will see what happens here. I would like to play First Magic Online, and this hand seems fairly sweet. This is the kind of hand with the Vapor Snag and the Seas here. If we're against just some sort of creature deck, something like that, you'd expect this hand actually be very, very good. Like ideally I'd like to see a Birds of Paradise or something that I get a Vapor Snag. Yeah, that's not going to happen. That's fine. This could be very good against a deck like this. It's going to have Path and stuff. We'll be able to lock it down here. But anytime you just get a lead with Silvergill, you feel pretty good. Silvergill Adept's basically the best card in the deck. Not close. People are always like, oh, I want a Vial and Lord. And I'm like, I don't want Lords. I just want Silvergill Adepts. And I hear drawing cards is pretty good. I'd really like to draw a Cavern here. So we're going to attack. I suspect nothing will happen, and he'll take it. Against this, I'm not necessarily opposed to just Vapor Snagging my own guy. I fully expect whatever I cast here to get countered. But I'm going to run the Lord out here. Well, maybe I should run the Seas. The Seas makes him holding a Path worse, so And I don't really care if this gets countered, so. He does want to path me. Let's see. I think I will. Oh, he just lost his mana. Okay, maybe not. Added the white for the bluff. Got to get the value. So I'd really like to. This is a matchup that just gets incredibly better if you have Cavern, whatever we're actually against. Okay. This is great. This is going to be an opportunity to resolve whatever we want. So the question, I can Vapor Snag his thing here. So actually, I can Vapor Snag and then double Spreading Seas and take him off of white, or Spreading Seas this one, take him off of a second white, and play a Lord. Or I can just take the opportunity to play like a Thassa or a Siege, but I like doing this simply because it's more mana efficient. See, now's a good time to draw one of these. Don't really want to draw any more lands, but I don't mind getting that one. Does this matter? Doesn't matter. The basic. So it's possible he doesn't get a recast it, but even if he does, if he does nothing recast, I get to play probably Thassa. This is a game where we're definitely going to want to be scrying. I haven't figured out exactly what we're up against either, but he does have. Oh. Okay then. Main deck verdicts is not ever easy to deal with. We'll continue to take him off of white mana. We'll get the Thassa down. This is almost a creature on these. Maybe don't actually want to turn it. We may have finally, look, we actually got him off of double white. Okay, so we'll start scrying now. And, you know, I guess we keep that. This is really an interesting game right here. I think I'm going to cast the Lord. And if it gets countered or something, I'm gonna follow up with the Siege, and I'd probably actually choose the draw cards mode. This is gonna turn this into a creature, so we'll move to combat first. Would not be surprised to see this thing get pathed. Yeah, okay. I mean, that is what it is. This is definitely gonna be a game we need to win long. Nice, okay. Gonna choose cons here. See, this is why you like it over Kira. I mean, Kira actually would be pretty good against him and we'll board it in, but then again, it could have just got Verdict away. And this is going to give us gas for the rest of the game. Would have been better, of course, if the... there was maybe an argument for not even playing the Lord for the... He's going to get his own thing. Yeah, makes sense. LD'd himself to... Oh. So this has got to be like Emeria control. This seems very bad for us. This does not seem like a good matchup. It's going to be a really big Master of Waves, but his deck can definitely handle Master of Waves. Yuck. Don't need the vial anymore. So I should have enough to do this. Let's see if he uses his Ghost Quarter here. I'm sure he will. There's no reason not to. So we get a land out of the deck. If he has another Verdict, we're in a lot of trouble. If he doesn't, we may be able to find a way into the game here. I mean, I can just block this thing. I just block it with like 4 of these guys. If he just comes in here. Okay. Getting back his Ghost Quarter. Deal with our other Mutavault. I'm gonna throw 4 in the way. This beats a path. I mean, I can throw 5. This beats 2 removal spells. I'm kind of thinking there might just be a post-combat verdict here. Like, just having... Yeah, that's good. I mean, I don't want to get blown up by double path or something weird. Just having 2 of these guys is probably enough anyways. I mean, our board is strong. I'm sure he's going to have to verdict, yeah. We're not in a great spot, but he doesn't have a ton of cards in hand, and we get to see a bunch, but those aren't very good draws. It's just white-blue. This might just be the deck from Worlds. I think Kenji was running. There's no reason to play this. I mean, maybe there is. It'd be around counter spells, but this is like tap out. I don't think this deck actually runs many counter spells. Main deck verdict's pretty good against Merfolk, though. Should have got rid of the vial, actually. Misclicked there. Meant to click the vial, but may not matter. Like I said, I don't think this deck runs many counter spells. We just have to hope we can draw more gas than him. If he hits a Sun Titan or some sort of Haymaker, we're in trouble. This is going to hit our Siege, isn't it? Oh, he wants that. Okay. I think he should have hit our Siege. That 2/2 wasn't going to kill him, but this might. He may just have it all, so it doesn't matter. Yeah, he just has it all. This deck only runs 2 Sun Titans, and he's found 2 of them, so that's pretty rough for us. Well, if we can come up with a Master of Waves or something like that, yeah. This is our out to win. This still makes his attack really bad. He doesn't have that many cards, and he has to have a path. Or he doesn't have attacks right here. We get to kill his second Sun Titan. I think once the second Sun Titan's dead, he doesn't have a ton of win conditions left. If this was a Kira, we would have had no chance of winning this game. Again, I'm gonna go for the full block to beat a path. Okay. Maybe still in this game. I don't know that he has more than 2 Sun Titans. We have another Master of Waves left in our deck. I believe we have one left. There's one in here, right? Yeah, so we have one left in the deck. It's obviously the best card in the matchup. Just wants to clear out his own lands. Take me off a Devotion, sure. Another Verdict? Oh, a 3rd Sun Titan. Okay, that's pretty good. Okay, looking rough. I have to think his draw is somewhat fortunate to find 3 Sun Titans, and there's no way the deck runs 4. Oust. Okay. Thanks for the life. Makes taking this attack easier. So I'm not blocking. Killing this is actually really bad, so... Oh, he wants to shuffle it away. That's fine. Okay, now he's on all 4 Sun Titans and he just finds them all. I guess we're dead. Master of Waves off the top is basically our only chance here. Does that do anything? I don't think either of these do anything. I'll get in here with this thing. So we're gonna have to chump block here, take 9, go to 1, or take 8. Or it's 9, it's lethal. Yeah, we're just dead. Well, I guess we'll see another draw step. This is why we have relics in the sideboard, but I won't lie, main deck Supreme Verdicts. And this is about the best deck I can think of to beat Merfolk. Oh, it was 8. We didn't need to... Yeah, it doesn't matter. We're dead there no matter what we do. Alright. I mean, I could have taken one more and not chump it. It doesn't matter, though. Alright, so... Things I want here. Definitely these relics. Basically just can't interact with Wrath, but we definitely want Ruinator in this. The Vapor Snags aren't very good here. Then again, neither is Harbinger, honestly. Curse Catcher's also pretty weak here. Lots of bad cards in this matchup. The just straight blue-white hardcore control deck's about the best, the worst thing you can face if you're Merfolk outside of a Affinity. I mean, I still probably want, I'm not actually sure what we can hit with this. If it's just paths and verdicts and oust and stuff like that, and Sun Titans, I'm not sure we can actually get anything. Maybe I just want the guys. I'm honestly not sure. Like, this is probably fine on like turn 2 or 3 or whatever. That's probably it. But I mean, Curse Catcher doesn't do that much either. Alright, we'll try this. It's a good hand. It's just like the only deck in the format that actually plays Supreme Verdict, so... Can interact with Wrath of God a lot better than I can Verdict. We can still play around it for sure, but... Silvergill Ravine Silvergill is about the best thing we can hope for here. It's really good. Man. I haven't found a Lord. I almost want a Spreading Seas here. Because he won't have another thing to put it to, so that's sort of whatever. I kind of want a Spreading Seas to keep the Finks from appearing next turn. This also digs us faster to a Lord, yeah. So I suspect to do no damage here, he'll block the Curse Catcher and shoot the Silvergill. That's why if I play the Silvergill there, I'm still not really like trying to attack into a Kitchen Finks just to have it Sun Titaned back later. So just taking him off of this keeps the Kitchen Finks off for a turn, so it will allow us to get in 2 points. He wants to oust our... Okay. And there's the Emeria we expected. I think I stick to the plan here. Silvergill, reveal this Curse Catcher. Draw our other Curse Catcher. Spreading Seas him off Emeria. Emeria is very powerful. once he gets going, but it also keeps the kitchen finks down. And next turn we can rejury. If he does have the land to cast kitchen finks, we can rejury and start tapping it down. And he doesn't have another land, okay. So here I think I go... So I have the option to just vomit out my hand and get blown out by a Plains into Verdict. Right, I could play all three of these guys, and it puts him dead next turn. If he didn't have the land that turn, so he'd have to have a land on top of his deck that makes white mana that does not come into play tapped. And even if he does, I have the Mutavaults, and if he doesn't, I'll just kill him. Yeah, I'm gonna take the chance. Alright, so let's see here. This is... Next turn it will be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. So I would need to play both of them to guarantee lethal. But even if he has... We'll play one of them. This is where I hope Magic Online was a bro, and oh, that's fine actually. Yeah, it happens. Let's hope that... Good. Not the summoning sick one. So we will hold back a little bit to the Verdict here. And there's the Emeria, so the Verdict could be coming next turn. That's pretty good. Glad we didn't play this now. I didn't necessarily think about playing around this. It's not something we see very often, but I'm glad I did. Play this, hit him for 9. The alternative is hitting him for 6. It's sort of the same thing, right? Do I need to do this? I can just attack with all three of these, hit him 6, and he's dead next turn unless he plays something, and I can play this when it's immediately lethal. That seems better. This is the whole playing around Verdict thing I talked about. Skill you have to learn with this deck. Generally it's Wrath, and it's a lot easier because your Curse Catchers and Spell Piercers interact with it. But Supreme Verdict's definitely the worst to face. But yeah, I think we can hold back both of these. He's hard pressed to deal with just these. He needs like a tap out, and then we can play this with this to tap down the Sun Titan when it does come. So he's actually in a pretty rough spot. Double Silvergill. Like, our hand, we'd just have this if we didn't have double Silvergill to draw these. He does have Cryptic mana, but I don't know if this deck actually even runs Cryptic. I think I will go ahead and play this out now, because it means even if he has a path, he's still dead. Okay, he did have a path. Does he have a second path? He does. Okay. Go to 2. Still in a lot of trouble over there. Sun Titan does not get him out of it. Kitchen Finks is very good for him. There it is. So we need to draw a Lord. I mean, we have 8 Lords in our deck. We haven't drawn one, so... Oh, that's pretty good. Okay, well, we're very lucky today. And he's at 4 too, so I can't even do any of this. That's really bad for us. Very unlucky. I'm gonna go ahead and hold the Manamo. If I attack, he just blocks the Mutavault, takes 2. The Mutavault doesn't even trade with it because it makes it a 3/3. Pretty rough. Yep. Yeah, I don't know if we're gonna get there. We drew very, very poorly. Depending on his hand, though, we're still alive to drawing the Lord. But this game's certainly starting to turn now that he gets to do this. It's also possible I should have held this back in case we drew a Mirror Injury, so I'd have a tap with it to tap this down. That may have been better. I mean, this makes the Lord better. It may not have mattered. I don't know. He's been through 3 paths already, right? Yeah, 3 paths and announced. This matchup seems like a nightmare. Especially if I see 0 Lord Atlantis, Master of the Pearl Trident, but just in general it seems very bad. Thassa would win the game right here. Well, it wouldn't now that there's a Mortar Pod, but it would go a long way, allowing us to make guys unblockable. Alright, here we go. He figured it out. He tanked on that pretty hard. I mean, the good news is against us, he has a very hard time ever getting anything back with Emeria. But his card selection as we go is going to be stronger. So we just need to hit something. Sweet. Yeah, it's dead. Does this mean he has Sun Titan, so he's going to Mortar Pod this thing up, shoot this down, play Sun Titan, and we die? Gets his Kitchen Finks back. Man. No relics, no lords. All the lands. It's pretty unlucky. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Interesting. Sure. Right on time. Well, if he's just got nothing over there, yeah, that's a good idea. This wouldn't actually, I mean, it allows him to not mess it up later. But if it was a creature, it would protect it. I feel like we have outs here. Hey, you know what? This thing flies, so that in itself is a thing. What's he tanking over here? Come on, buddy. Really? Let me see. I mean, yeah. Makes sense. As long as there's not a Sun Titan to follow up, this might have worked out. If there is a Sun Titan to follow up, we're very, very dead. And for that, it's hard to imagine he doesn't have one. Okay. Does this mean he doesn't have it? I count one. Okay, so he's at one. He's only at 3 planes, so Emeria is nowhere near online. We have outs. Interesting. So he's going to path this. His last card's his 4th path to exile. Oh, it's a detention sphere. Okay, top deck war. Let's do it. I'm really good at top deck wars. I think my last... It's been like land Vile, land Kira Vile. That's pretty bad. And he top deck Sun Titan. Oh, sometimes it's not your night. I guess I give it a draw step to see if I hit... I mean, he gets back Kitchen Finks here, right? He may get Court Hussar, but... Kitchen Finks is better. If we don't hit Master of Waves... I mean, Master of Waves gives us 1, 2, 3 tokens, enough to block that. We're pretty dead regardless here, but... Jesus, okay. Well, guys, I'd hoped for a better start than that, but sometimes it is really not your night, and that was definitely not our game.